Meta sinking 4% today after reaching a settlement over discriminatory advertising on Facebook. The Department of Justice finding that Meta used information protected under federal housing law to run its targeted ads. The stock is now touching levels not seen since April 2020. Let's bring in Gene Munster of Loop Ventures to break down the headlines. Gene, this seems like this is just another way in which Meta's hands are handcuffed a little bit in terms of allowing advertisers to target.
You hit it right on, Melissa, is that is one of the forces in play here, is that it's getting harder for monetizing. That's one of the big pictures, whether it's Apple and IDFA, whether it's the housing today, whether it's upcoming changes around employment and credit that Facebook has vowed to make using less personal data around that. All of those add up to part of the negative equation here, which is harder to monetize. In fairness, there's a different side to the ledger, which is what is working for the company. About 35% of global internet users visit a Facebook Meta property daily. It's quite remarkable. And we have those two forces working in opposition. That growth of that base is still growing despite increases of competition from TikTok. Facebook Reels is doing surprisingly well. But that is what is at play here, and that's why it trades at 11 times next year's earnings, as investors understandably are getting tired of this drip around more difficult to monetize.
Hey, Gene, it's Karen. So as a, I don't know, disgruntled Facebook holder, Meta holder, what do you think about, I know the privacy rules definitely have an effect, but how about the underlying business part, whether it's small businesses who aren't advertising as much because they don't literally have the product in hand because of supply chains, or just sort of a little bit of, less optimism about the economy? How much do you think that weighs on their business versus the privacy issues?
I think it's the bigger piece in the near term, and I put the near term on it over the next 3 months, and I suspect that all companies are going to be cautious about September. Your team has done a good job of enumerating that risk, and Facebook is no different. I would put them in the same category as Google, that has this kind of high-level macro risk to it. So that is the other. I don't highlight that as one of the two forces because I think it is more over the next 3 to 6 months. But that's a big deal, is trying to figure out what's the true health. And I suspect that the economy today is in good shape, but I suspect in 3 months that won't be the case. And that probably is going to create some near-term continued downward pressure on shares of Facebook or Meta.
Hey, Gene, the first year that this company was public, 2012, they had gross margin about 76% or so. In 2016, they demonstrated how good they were at targeting. Their margins were about 87%. In a year or two, they're supposed to be back in, let's say, the mid-70s. Is this part of the problem here, is that just that gross margin for this product that was thought to be infallible is kind of going away? And then does it really trouble you, this pivot that they're making into, let's call it the metaverse or VR, AR, whatever they're doing, is that's really going to eat into those margins too?
I think investors are able to kind of parse out some of the investments in the metaverse relative to the overall margins. And I think that one thing that is a road that has been well-traveled, that has proved to be reliable around social, is that when engagement is growing, companies find ways to monetize, find ways of increasing profitability. And so I think that they'll get a pass on some of the investment in the Meta because they can break that out. But in general, that to me is, the true kind of the Zen quality here about thinking about this company, is to think about ultimately where is engagement going. If engagement's growing, they're going to find ways to monetize it. If engagement starts to deteriorate, whether it's because of TikTok or some other competitor out there, there's no telling where the bottom is. And so that's ultimately what it comes to when kind of deciphering where social is going. As it stands today, I think they're doing a decent job of hanging in there. And, of course, it's the most important piece we'll be watching.
Gene, thanks for phoning in. Always good to get your thoughts. Gene Munster of Loop. So this stock, you saw it there, off 59% from its high. It's down, 18% over the past month versus the NASDAQ 100, which is down 2%. Guy, I know you hate the stock. There are plenty of other reasons to hate it, aside from the ones that you hate it for.
Now, I mean, think about what you just said. I mean, this was a $1 trillion company this time last summer, effectively, right? Now we're below $500 billion. Stock, to your point, down 60% since that all-time high. You can make a compelling case on valuation. You could have done it for a while. I mean, again, Sheryl Sandberg leaving, big deal, not a big deal? I think it's a big deal. I don't see any positive catalyst, again, my opinion, other than valuation until you get to earnings at the end of July. So, you know, I think, listen, if it can't rally today, given the tape and given the sell-off the stock has had, when is it going to rally in terms of into earnings or anything but? So I think it's still a no-touch.
This is the real standout in today's rally. I mean, big cap tech had some pretty nice gains, except for Meta.
In fact, if you'd looked at the triple Qs, and you would have expected them to probably outperform the S&P by 100, 125 basis points, and they didn't. And I'll just say that in the greatest tech rally we've ever seen, and I think it absolutely exceeded .com, because these are real companies. So going all the way back to July of 2017, this company has underperformed the S&P, while the rest of the tech giants have gone through the roof.
Yeah. Karen?
Well, we had said anything advertising related, which Netflix might be now.
Sure.
Disney, Meta, all underperformed today. Disappointing. Meta particularly.
Yeah.
Very disappointing,
All right.
no doubt. But every day that happens.